All right, guys, we are here, Season 1 of the Manifold Promotional League. This is the Survivor match for Group 1. Today we will find out who will live and who will die. We've got just a little bit of a tragedy here because, if you'll notice, this is the fourth video. The fourth video was supposed to be the rebound match. We had Freddy and Chris playing each other in the rebound match. They did play each other, but something went wrong. We lost the video. But what do we have today, Adam?
We've got Freddy versus Nick in the Survivor match here. Whoever wins here moves on to the next round. Starting off, we've got Freddy's deck. It is a red-blue kind of controlling deck-ish. These are mostly a lot of good cards, but the prevailing sentiment here is a lot of blue dice and a lot of ways to remove your opponent's dice, just a lot of survivability, and that's reflected in the heroes.
And it's not just more narrow than a lot of survivability, it's a lot of shields.
Sure.
Athena's rolling blue, Cora's rolling blue, Nina's resolving energy as shield. Freddy really doesn't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also got Nick. What is Nick playing?
Nick is on his tried and true DADO-14 Sacrifice deck. So this deck is a synergy deck where Dado creates a Sentinel, Ramorand sacrifices it for value, and the deck follows suit, making little guys that can then be sacrificed for good value.
One of the neat things about this deck is it doesn't grow a huge board. It trades off its objects for dice now. And we got to see that in the winners match, where Nick managed to pull way out ahead, but he wasn't quite able to close it back, and Steven was able to claw his way back.
Because Steven grew up a huge board that was just bigger than anything Nicholas could beat.
And that's why Nick is here, fighting in the Survivor match for the round of 32, hoping to get into the round of 16.
Yeah.
Looks like our players are shuffled up. Let's get to the action.
Let's get to it. Excellent. So we've got Nick down here on the bottom with DADO-14. We've got Freddy up top with Athena, Core, Nina. Nick will start us off with Dado activation, creating a Sentinel.
Sentinel's going to be a big part of this match.
Yes.
Freddy is very good at making a whole lot of shields. Shields prevent one instance of damage, so instances of one damage is how you beat them.
Yep.
Sentinels do instances of one damage.
Especially if you're making them, sacrificing, and making more. So it looks like Nick is just going to be activating Dado, activating the Sentinel, activating Ramorand. He gets to activate all his heroes and do a bunch of stuff and have a bunch of game actions before needing to actually commit his gems to anything, which is kind of nice.
But something he had to decide right away was which hero is he going to fight first.
That's true. That's true.
He decided to go for Nina, and the big advantage to defeating Nina is Freddy's energy stops being able to shield.
Yeah, energy to shield one is one of my favorite energy abilities. Freddy's going to play a Temple Parapet here, creating a Sentinel, and Athena's trigger will happen to activate Core Zoxel over there. Nice. And in response, Nick is going to jam a Black Altar.
I'm pretty sure that there's nothing in Nick's deck that can, nothing in Freddy's deck that can beat Black Altar. I'm getting deja vu.
We can remove it.
These players played in the first placement match. This is a rematch of placement match A.
It absolutely
is.
Yeah,
that was no, did we already see this?
No.
Oh, right. That's how that works.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah. So Freddy's deck just can't remove a Black Altar, and Nick knows that because this is open deck list. So instead of activating Ramorand to eat that Sentinel, Nick's just going to go for the big guns.
Yep. Roll red, green, green.
Yeah.
Same thing we talked about in placement match A. There's just a little bit of a diminishing return there because one of those dice that Black Altar just rolled is coming right out of Ramorand's mouth.
Sure.
But in subsequent rounds, Nick is going to have Augur's Auspices and Clothbound Apprentices.
Yes.
And
other things to eat.
Yeah. He'll find a way to use them both, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. So Nick's just going to, like we said, just activate all his board, make a bunch of dice, and it looks like Freddy's going to be doing roughly the same thing, activating heroes, activating his parapet, making a bunch of dice, resolving those out. I don't think that's probably about it this round.
Yeah, Freddy could play Protection of Belief. He could play a Federation Battle Mage. Is that in Freddy's deck? I'm going to bring Freddy's deck up here. Protection of Belief looks like the only play that Freddy can make off that one blue gem.
What Protection?
Oh, that's a Whispers from Eternity.
That is a Whisper from Eternity.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that wouldn't.
It would be pretty good
here. Oh
no,
you just have just enough dice to leave him stranded.
Yeah, okay. Okay, sure. But it's still be 4 damage. 4
Yeah,
damage is good.
But here's that 4 damage.
You're right. Yup. That is in fact how that works.
Protection of Belief could turn that shield into shield 3 and protect all your heroes.
There
Not
you-
Protection of Belief.
Whispers. You might notice that we're used to seeing Protection of Belief as the 1 gem blue event rather than Whispers. But I play Whispers in my deck, and I think that card's great.
Yeah, Whispers of Eternity is very powerful when you're hitting Sabotage or when you're hitting Modify.
Yeah.
And it's okay when you hit Shield. A lot of times, in round 1 is the only time it's really good to hit Shield. Because you really get diminishing returns shielding your already shielded heroes.
Yeah. I mean, this is fine. The shield is just going to shield Athena and Nina. And since Nick already put some damage into Nina, it looks like he's going to keep trying to go after her instead of switching targets.
And Freddy had already put some damage into Dado, so Dado's taking 6 damage this round.
Yeah.
And it looks like Nina's going to take 7 damage this round.
Sure. This is pretty even.
Oh, there's also a Sentinel there, so Dado's actually going to take 7.
Sure. Yeah. That is true. So 4 damage into Nina. Probably activate the Sentinel for 1 damage into Dado, maybe? Nope, we're just going to do a dig in. That's honestly a great idea because that shield will eat 2 damage instead of 1. And I think that's a good trade.
Yeah, that seems absolutely reasonable.
Yeah. All right, so 2 damage to take off the shield, 2 damage at Nina, and we'll go to next round.
So Freddy's taken 7 damage, Nick has taken 6. But Freddy started with 36 life,
Yes.
Nick only started with 32.
Yes, so but then Nick has a 5-drop in play and Freddy has a 4. It's pretty even.
Yeah.
All things considered.
Temple Parapet is a pretty powerful object to go unanswered. It makes 2 dice on its own. It made a Sentinel, which is almost worth a whole nother premium dice.
Yeah.
But Black Altar's kind of on another level.
It is, especially if it doesn't get removed, right? That's the real thing. Nick can always excommunicatus the Sentinel or whatever to make the parapet less powerful, but if Freddy cannot deal with the Black Altar, it's just going to keep making 4 dice around. And yeah. So starting off here, Freddy's going to play a Rapid Deployment, which puts a blue counter on Athena and uses her trigger to activate herself.
And Rapid Deployment is a really fun one because it lets you activate an object during the logistics phase, so at the beginning of each round before it's either player's turn. Taking that bonus action up front makes it more likely that you dig in. If you dig in and you have a Rapid Deployment, you get to activate your object first, and then it's still your turn.
It certainly is. Yeah, so Rapid Deployment is a sweet one. Nick will respond with a 3-drop of his own, Revenant, which is just going to mean the Sentinel that Dado makes can be sacrificed to Ramorand, and the Revenant can be sacrificed to Black Altar.
And this Revenant is presenting lethal
cool.
right now.
Cool.
This is something we don't get to see that often.
So Core's energy ability costs 2 energy, and Freddy only had 1 energy in their pool, and so Whispers will resolve that 1 energy as though it showed 2 energy, and that 2 energy will power Core's energy ability all on its own, which exhausts a support character. And that effectively means Whispers and the energy dice traded for a red dice. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Nick didn't immediately sacrifice the Revenant because he could have killed Nina before Nina got to be activated.
Oh, sure.
But that would have meant not activating the Revenant, but then the Revenant got exhausted, so he had that option available to him.
Neat. That's a good point. But anyway.
And it looks like Freddy didn't see it because he's leaving that option available to Nick.
Yeah. Looks like both players haven't seen it yet. But there's the Black Altar. This is sacking the Revenant. Shooting Nina?
Yeah, very likely to shoot Nina. You could shoot the Sentinel, but that would be a very defensive play.
A bit overkill.
And the Ramorand Dado deck generally is not trying to be defensive.
Yep, it's trying to just throw its damage at your opponent's face and win before they build a big enough board to beat you.
Every once in a while, you can have Blessed Metters and become unkillable, but that's usually because your opponent is forcing a low resource game, and you're just trying to take advantage of it.
Yeah. All right, so after all of the fireworks, I suppose, Nick has a Sentinel to take off Athena's shield, and Still got some gems. Yeah, I keep thinking that this Dado-Ramorand deck has played all its cards, but no, it's still got 3 gems left to do more exciting things.
Yeah, something that happens a whole lot with this deck is it plays like an Augur's Auspice and a Federation Battle Mage, and then it sacrifices its Sentinel, and you're like, man, that's a lot of game actions.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You've spent 2 gems.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Nick's, so look at that pile of dice for only spending 3 gems. I'd be pretty happy with my board state if I were Nick here, just because Black Altar is awesome and it's huge.
And Dado means you get to feed it every round.
Yeah.
And if Dado died right now, Nick would be losing a lot of his potential.
Oh, absolutely.
But Freddy is just making a lot of shields, and Freddy is not really threatening Dado.
Yep. Radar Servo here will modify the purple dice to 2 modify, while also presenting something to sacrifice next round. Meanwhile, Freddy's going to be dealing some damage to Dado. So that'd be 9 damage taken by Dado now, putting him to 7 health. And I think that's the last damage that Freddy's got. Okay, that was a 1 damage sitting off to the side of the camera there. So Dado will be down to 6 going into round 3.
Which is pretty good. You can definitely deal 6. You're very likely to deal 6 damage in round 3. Dado is probably going to die in round 3. But we're going to get to use him in round 3. And that means it's taken us 3 rounds to get halfway through Nick's life total.
I do like that in that sentence you use the word "we" to describe 3, like one player than the other.
Yeah. It's so funny. One of the things they teach you in Broadcasting 101 is not to take either player's perspective because it looks like you're favoring them.
So instead...
Yeah, I'm going to flip that on its head. I'm going to take both players' perspective, favoring neither of you.
Perfect. All right, so after sacrificing the Radar Sentinel to Federation Battle Mage and then rolling that dice, Nick's got 5 modify.
Oh,
Freddy has dug in, I think, or is about to. And Nick's just going to be modifying to a whole pile of damage.
Are we killing Athena?
I think we're killing Core.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh,
yeah,
we're not killing Athena, but
That's a nice pile. Good round 2 numbers, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right, 6 damage into Core here.
Yeah, just getting to play this completely unbothered Black Altar that just
huge.
Gets to do its thing every round.
Looks like Freddy's still got the dig in, I think. Otherwise, we wouldn't be waiting here.
Freddy also still has 2 gems up.
Oh, wow. Yup. Yeah, absolutely.
Again, there's no protection of belief. There's take cover.
Yeah, take cover here would... But it's not take cover. So Nick's instead just going to eat that shield, deal 4 damage to knock out Core, and then it looks like take off the shield with the energy ability off Athena, and then deal 2 damage to Athena. So we've got 14 health on Athena, and 22 health total amongst Nick's heroes going into round 3. And the final action, Excommunicatus, that Sentinel that was made at the beginning of the game.
So in round 1, Nick did 10 damage. In round 2, he did 12. In round 3, if he can find 14, that will be a round 3 victory.
Yes, it will.
You don't see round 3 victories that often.
You really don't. And a big part of that is because you need both your opponent to... If you're trying to win in round 3, you need your opponent to not mess with your dice and also not mess with your objects and also not kill you. And all 3 of those things at once happen not that frequently. Usually you're going to stop your opponent from doing some damage, or you're going to kill their stuff, or whatever.
And we didn't get to see, unfortunately, Freddy's shields put up a heavy resistance against the red-green control deck.
Right.
Instead, what we got to see twice is Freddy's shields not being able to stand up to this onslaught of Sentinels.
Yeah, remember that Freddy won the off-camera game here, and that game, like you said, the shields were good in it. And so, it is a little unfortunate if you're here to watch Freddy's deck crush people. That's the only game you don't get to see.
Although Freddy is not dead here. Again, Freddy's deck is capable of a lot of defense. You've got Templar Squires, you've got Eye-Plea Assemblies, you've got Blessed Menders. You can play discounted Blessed Menders with Spiritbinder Magi. Freddy really does need to kill Dado this round, I think, to have a reasonable chance. But with Rapid Deployment and Athena, you've got a lot of opportunities for tempo. So if you can get this to round 4, you have a chance to steal it in round 4.
Oh, I absolutely don't mean to suggest Freddy's out here. I just mean that Sentinels are particularly good against this specific game plan. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
So it looks like a Templar Squire here at the beginning is going to shield Athena. Nice solid card there.
That is a heck of a card.
Yep, just stats.
Yep.
Nice stats. We like stats.
It's going to roll 2 premium dice, which is what you expect out of your 4, but it gives you a powerful trigger on arrival, and it gives that to you every time.
Yep. Oh, and remember, the reason that Freddy was able to activate Athena and then also play a Templar Squire is because of the wrap deployment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a big part of also why Freddy's going to have a quality chance to win this game if they can defeat Dado and get to round 4, because they're probably going to take the first 2 actions going into round 4.
Yep. It's a real nice place to be if you're trying to win right then and there. So Nick is going to, before spending gems, just activate at least some of his board here. Probably activating the Black Altar to sack the Sentinel and see how his dice look before doing anything else.
So Nick has been running out of cards in
Yes.
all of his games. He's got the 2 he's drawn this round. That might be all he has in his hand.
I did see an Augur's Auspice in there.
Okay.
And so that'll replace itself when sacrificed.
Yeah,
which
Augur's
is-
Auspice goes a long way towards making this Dado-Ramorand deck keep ticking.
It certainly does. Yeah, you'll notice that Black Altar here is Nick's only green dice. I mean, it is 2 green dice. That is relevant. And green dice draw cards very well. But usually Nick wouldn't have this Black Altar in play on round 1 and have it survive the whole game every single game. And so his deck does run out of cards due to a lack of green dice. And,
And the downside, if you can call it that, of having Ramorand roll 2 purple dice and Federation Battle Mage roll 1 purple dice
Mhm.
is that you're resolving your green dice for draw very infrequently.
Yes.
Because instead you're killing heroes with them.
yeah, and on one hand, great. On the other, if you run out of cards because you're playing your little dinky 1-drops and sacrificing them, you're going to run out of gas.
Yeah, against Steven, Nick
Mhm.
found himself close to presenting lethal with 4 blank dice and unable to tactical reroll.
Yep, and 3 or 4 gems remaining as well, I think, right?
I don't quite recall that,
Okay.
but I believe it.
Yeah.
That sounds like how that game ended.
Yeah, Nick did run out of cards and it mattered, so.
Oh, right, because we were speculating that he was going to crackle. So
Exactly.
he had
Yeah.
some gems up. You're right.
So anyway, our players are just making a bunch of dice, and I'm excited to see what either of them play.
So right now, Athena's energy ability can find you 2 damage, and there's 3 more physical damage.
Yeah.
And those numbers critically do not add up to 6.
Yes, remember that Freddy is trying to deal 6 damage before moving on to damaging Ramorand. So starting that off with the 2 damage here. And hopefully Freddy can find some other card that deals an extra 2 damage.
I feel like they're very
somewhere.
likely to, because they resolved shield for damage instead of the other energy.
Sure.
Which
sure.
means any dice we can make here
Yeah.
is that, that shows a number
Yes.
will be enough to kill Dado.
Ramorand's going to roll his dice, sacrifice the Augur's Auspice, draw that card. Nice and quality.
And there's Nick with 11 dice in his pool.
Yep.
This Ramorand Dado deck has looked excellent.
Yes. Yeah. I think that if Freddy doesn't, Freddy might survive, but boy, is it going to be hard. I think that Nick's just going to be able to reroll, tactical reroll, and modify into lethal. Probably.
Yeah, if you just modify your damage now, you're presenting 13, which is going to take off 2 shields and deal 11.
And he's got 6 gems left.
And a Federation Battle Mage.
And a Battle Mage. Yeah.
Now, Freddy has 3 gems up, right? Freddy can still take cover is the big one.
Yes. And there we go. Take cover. We'll eat 2 premium dice, so that's 3 damage there, but quite possibly could have been modified into 4 damage. It's pretty good take cover, and will probably be enough to take him to next round.
Yeah, but
Maybe depends on what Nick plays.
and it didn't kill Dado.
And it didn't kill Data, so even if you get to next round, yeah, no, that's a real good point. All right, so each energy can show 2 damage if you pair it with one of those white dice, but also can resolve other dice sides as mental damage through Ramorand. Really, Nick gets to resolve his dice however he wants. He's got a bunch of options, a bunch of ways to go about turning this into damage.
Yeah, so that purple dice probably means that those black dice are each already resolving for damage.
Right.
Unless Nick needs to modify instead. Or, opts to modify instead.
Yeah. So it looks like 3 damage here will take Dado to 1 health. which is critically not 0 health.
Critically not 0. Freddy could kill Dado at the top of the round before Dado activates, because
absolutely.
rapid deployment would let him make some dice, and then if you find any damage, you can resolve it.
Yep. Oh, interesting. So Nick is going to play a radar servo here, which will modify the purple dice into modify 2. It's interesting to me that he's not turning the green dice into draw.
And then resolving the draw's damage.
No, then just resolving the draw and playing a bunch of cards.
Yeah, okay.
So many
He's got 5 gems up. That's a fine point.
Yeah. If Nick just tactical rerolls a bunch and modifies into damage and then resolves the damage, because that's fine. I guess it does look like he has.
There's at least 2 there.
I think that's 3 cards in hand. Okay, in my mind he was down to like 1 or 2, but if it's 3, he's probably got ways to spend his gems.
Yeah, if he just slams another black altar here, then we'll stop questioning.
Yeah, it'd be pretty okay, wouldn't it? Looks like he's gonna. It looks like Freddy dug in and Nick immediately took off the shield. So now we're just doing anything Nick wants in whatever order.
If you resolve this modify 5, then you're only going to get in
2, 4,
7 damage? 9 damage? 9 damage. We already took off the shield, so 10 damage.
Yeah, which isn't lethal. So Nick's probably going to be either playing a card or tactical rerolling. There's no way he doesn't play a card, right? Like,
it seems very unlikely. I don't know what 3 cards they could have and not have any targets. Maybe they'll all change the tides. But then you just play them and win the game.
All right, 2 black dice turn to draw 2.
Well, he found Strike Down. That's the kind of card we would not be playing.
Yeah, doesn't do much, does it?
Nope. You can't strike down those rainbow dashes.
You certainly can. You could hit the Templar Squire and it'd be fine. But not great. It's funny that there isn't even an exhausted small support character to kill.
There is.
To modify.
Your own radar servo.
Yeah, but... All right, looks like Nick's just going to resolve modify and...
Yeah, very peculiar.
I guess cards are overrated. 9 damage into Athena.
Yeah, I mean, then you probably do strike down the Templar Squire.
I guess. Maybe we're saving it for a tactical reroll next round. Yeah, okay. Nick just has a whole grip of cards and nothing to do. Neat. Okay, sure. You know what? This is still fine. If you're Nick, you're still fine.
Oh, yeah. 17-5 is a pretty substantial advantage. Yeah. Freddy does get the first 2 actions. The chances that this kills the Dado are pretty high.
Look at those dice. Freddy's going to be making blue-black or blue-blue-green.
Yeah, but blue-blue-green when energy is lethal.
When energy... Yeah, okay. Okay, sure. That's a good point.
And maybe he just, plays frag grenades.
That's true. That would be pretty good here. Good enough at the very least.
See, this is round 4. We made it to round 4, so we've got 8 gems.
Yeah. So what we always like to say, every game of Manifold ends in round 4.
A lot of games of Manifold end in round 4.
We got there. Easy.
That's assuming this game ends this round.
Yeah. Most games at Manifold end at the very bottom of round 3 up until the top of round 5. That's probably 95% of games. But this game looks like top of round 4, so nicely in the middle-ish there. So, did rapid deployment do anything?
It seems like we did not.
Okay, rapid deployment will activate the temple parapet. And then ambush will put a blue counter on Athena and immediately activate her.
And that's swift.
And then it's Freddy's turn. or not activate Athena because another ambush. We're jamming.
All right.
Yeah, another ambush. Okay. There's another blue counter and activate Athena. So here's a whole pile of blue dice, and then it's Freddy's turn.
Yep. And if that Templar Squire was still alive,
then we'd be ambushing one and then ambushing the other and look probably quite a bit better.
Well, this kills the Dado.
Yes, it does. Okay. Energy to resolve that. Black dice as damage.
Yep, so not wasting any of your potential.
Yeah, sure. That's a lot of... Freddy's done making dice this round?
Yeah, it does seem like that's probably the case.
That's unfortunate, yeah.
Its sabotage plus shield is probably not going to stand up to this black altar.
Yeah, so One thing that's cool about Ambush is that you have to go super fast. The downside is that it doesn't really grow your board very much or very well. And so if you're playing 2 of them, that's not going to actually generate that much advantage if you don't already have a big board state to, take advantage of the speed.
Yeah, and this is exactly where you want Ambush, because
Oh,
you
yeah.
want to make your dice up front before you die, and this is,
Yeah.
how you steal a game. But 17 was just an insurmountable number.
Yeah, imagining that Freddy got like 10 more damage in or something this game, then this would be looking really close and really cool. Said Black Altar's just been chugging away from the very beginning, rolling red, red, green, green, and that's real good.
Now, the Sabotage is going to prevent 3 or 4 damage. There's going to be
Yeah.
2 shields, so Nick is going to need to find like 13 or so damage this round.
And he doesn't have Dado making Sentinels anymore.
That's true. I was going to say he's found 13 or so damage every round, but
Mhm.
you're right that there is a critical ingredient missing.
Yeah. So, I mean, seeing as last round, Nick didn't have anything to play that did anything, this might not be the end of the game.
Yeah, if Nick doesn't have any relevant plays here.
Yeah, if Nick just drew like 2 Excommunicatuses, then we're going to the next round, maybe.
Yeah, in that world, Nick is probably modifying into draw. He's probably
That's true.
probably
That's
needs
true.
like
That's true.
5 actual misses in order for that to be how things play out.
Yeah, Change the Tide is
Monstrous.
absolute monster of a card here. So modify 2 will create a bunch of damage, and sabotage the 2 sabotages will
That's effectively 8 damage.
yeah, yes it is. It's pretty good, as they say.
And that means unless Freddy has a trick, Nick now has lethal.
Yeah, so nope, we're still one. Oh no,
He has a modify.
I didn't see the physical damage there.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so instead of just resolving damage, Nick's gonna play a Battle Mage, sacking the other Battle Mage, activate that Battle Mage. Freddy's just gonna hang out for a bit until Nick decides to resolve damage.
Freddy could still have a take cover. That's the only relevant play we could be making.
Yeah, yep. At a certain point, Nick's gonna do some math and realize that he doesn't need to keep playing cards,
or just
or just keep jamming. Yeah, sure, great.
It's a Battle Mage eat Battle Mage world.
It certainly is. Take off that shield, dig in, roll some dice, resolve some modify. Nope, we're going. All right, Ramorand's going to roll purple, purple, red, yellow.
He's going to show the full suite of power that this Templar has.
So here's a whole pile of damage. Anyway, so Nick is going to resolve out the rest of this damage in some manner, one way or another. And this is going to mean, this is the survival match.
Yep.
Which means that in this group 1, we will have Steven Boston and Nick Muchler going on to round 2.
And now, we called this the round of 32. There's actually only 28 players. There's only 7 groups.
Yeah.
There is a dead man bracket, so Freddy has just the tiniest little chance to compete in that and get one of the extra seats into the round of 16.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if they're actually even going to try to play in that tournament, but if they are, best of luck to them.
Absolutely. That will end our group 1 here. Thanks for watching. We'll have plenty more content for you to check out. And hope to see you in future rounds.
Yeah, tomorrow we've got group 2.
Yes, we do. See you there.